This is the place to be for education about asexuality, all things asexual. I share my asexual life journey in order to help you in yours. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit that great big subscribe button right here, right now. Please hit that bell icon so you get notified of every time I go live right now, post a new video. So if you didn't know who I am Sandra Bellamy, author of this awesome Asexual Perspectives 47 Asexual Stories book, available at Waterstones, Barnes & Noble and Amazon. So let's crack on with today's show. Yes, so this is really important to maintain your standards and boundaries when dating allosexual. So allosexual is someone who is not asexual. So for example, heterosexual. So it's really important to maintain your boundaries and your standards in a relationship. So if you are asexual who is monogamous, as in you just want one person to be in a relationship with, not multiple people, and you don't want your partner to be in a relationship with multiple people, including you just want them to be in a relationship with you, then you need to maintain that standard and that boundary, right? Don't drop it because a sexual person doesn't believe that you're worth, you're worth being in a relationship with, but not committing to and being faithful to if you don't want to have sex with them, right? If you don't want to have sex, right, you don't have to settle for a sexual person that needs sex and that will go and get it elsewhere if that's not what you want, right? I know some asexuals are fine with their partner getting sex elsewhere, but if you're a person who doesn't want that, you must stick to that, right? I came across a guy on Facebook dating, and he told me he'd be all right without sex because he respects a person. If they don't want sex, he won't do that with them. Then later on, he's going, oh, but I do need sex because I'm like a horny young guy. And I just blocked him, It's just like, why waste my time? And people will waste your time because a lot of the time they don't believe asexuality is real, or they think it's a joke, or they just don't take it seriously, or they think they can chat you up or have an emotional connection with you, but they can go and get their sex elsewhere, right? And if you're monogamous, that's not on. They think that, okay, I won't have sex with you, but they don't. I was lucky this guy told me that and didn't waste my time, because I thought, oh great, he could be in a relationship with me without sex, that's wonderful, without telling me, but I still want to go and get sex because I can't live without it, basically. I can only live without it with you. Then, he would have been wasting my time. So please, please do be very careful of heterosexuals, in my case, heterosexual guys, or any sexuals that go around telling you that, okay, they won't have sex. You need to make sure what that means. Does that mean to say they're still going to be having sex with other people? Because if it is, you're wasting your frigging time if that's not what you want. You still need to maintain your standards. Don't think just because you're asexual that you should have anything less than you deserve, right? Because in a relationship, the person is still getting a unique and special being in you. They are still getting an incredible person. A lot of asexuals, we can be faithful and not have sex with anyone, right? And that is a huge benefit to a sexual person, especially if a sexual person's been cheated on. I've come across quite a lot of sexual guys who have been cheated on. And that is what is quite appealing, being with an asexual person. But even those guys, they sometimes do still want sex and would actually cheat on you, which is even more disgusting if they've been cheated on before themselves. But you know what I mean? They don't see it as cheating. They're like, oh, but I've still got to get my sex elsewhere, so that's okay. It's not okay if you're not okay with that, right? So it's really important. Boundaries keep you safe. So what are boundaries? Boundaries are like sets of rules and that you put in place to keep you safe. So it's basically where they can and can't touch. It's like unacceptable behavior, unacceptable behavior, the way a person talks to you, the way a person communicates with you, so it's a whole like attitude, mindset, communication. It's basically you have to assert yourself and tell the person how you'd like to be spoken to. Like, people aren't mind readers, and sometimes if you come from different cultures, different backgrounds, then things can be misconstrued and things can be taken the wrong way, because you come from different places in your background, in your upbringing, in your culture. But you have to explain how you want to be spoken to. So if you with someone and they're not speaking to you how you'd like to be talked to, then just say to them, this is not how I'd like to be spoken to. This is an example of how I'd like to be spoken to. Speaking to me like this doesn't feel good to me. Use feeling words. This doesn't feel good to me. This doesn't feel right to me. This makes me feel not good. Because if a person really loves and cares about you, they will want you to feel good. They will want to make you happy, while still not jeopardizing themselves. But if they're a kind, caring, good person, they'll want to please you and make you happy in that way. If it's an effective communication issue they've got, as in they're not being effective, they'll want to improve that. A guy who's not a good guy will just dig his heels and be like, I'm not changing. And there's someone on Facebook dating like that. He goes, I'm not changing for no one. It's like, well, don't change for anyone then, but don't expect anyone to change for you, mate, and so it's very important that, whatever your standards are, it's like, when I'm on Facebook dating, it's like, I'm not interested in any types of sex. And I get asked a lot, oh, so you'll do a blowjob then, will you? Because you don't want sex. It's like, no. A guy the other day was like, oh, if you're not having sex, would I still be able to ask for nudes? I guess that's out of the question. It's like, no, none of my heterosexual exes ever asked me for nude photographs. I think it's just disgusting and completely disrespectful. I'm not interested in showing my naked body to a guy, right? And so you've just got to maintain your standards, and whatever type of relationship you want, you've got to stick to it, right? Not bend it for someone else's needs. Like, I don't like guys who are bearded, right? It really puts me off. I don't know if I could stand a little bit of facial hair, right? But you know what I mean? It's like a smoker is totally unacceptable to me. I don't want anyone who smokes drugs or anyone who smokes anything, right? So there's things that you might be able to compromise on without compromising your boundaries and your standards. You might, still be able to maintain your standards, but be able to as in have a variation of something. So with me, I might be able to stand a bit of facial hair, for example, but I know they're not that attractive to me when they're like that. I'd much rather be with a guy that's much more attractive to me aesthetically than be with someone who's not, right? But I've got a little bit of give there. But it's like, do not accept second best. Do not settle for someone who doesn't deserve your love, or who is not really what you want because you feel you can't get anyone else. It's very important that you seek out the ideal person that you want to be with, and that you that you actually go and seek what you want. Too many people who are dating, they barely put anything on their profile, and you don't know what they're looking for. And a lot of the time they don't even know what they're looking for. But if you don't know what you're looking for, you'll end up with poop landing on your lap, right? It's like a bird pooping down on you. It's like you don't know where you're headed. You just randomly walking somewhere, poop lands on you. Because that's what you'll get, right? You need to be very specific with what you want, the type of person you want, your hobbies, your interests, what's acceptable to you in a relationship, what isn't acceptable to you. I know I don't want to move, right? So I need to find someone who moved to live near me. That's a tall order, but that's what I want, right? But some people, they just love living in the UK, and they love Exeter, might say. It's beautiful, really good walks and stuff. So they'd be very fortunate and lucky to be in this place. Very good healthcare here as well. So, I want you to just maintain your standards and boundaries. Don't accept anything less than you deserve. Don't think you can't get anyone. Just keep going. So you've got to sift through a lot of rubbish, people that are not suitable for you, in order to get to the very few people that are going to be suitable for you. Because there's not going to be many in the world that's suitable for you, but there's still going to be a lot. So when I'm on traditional dating coach sites, when I watch dating coaches on YouTube, for example, there's some I've been following for a very long time. One of the guys that's really good on there, he says, you're only going to be suitable for 5%, but we're 1% of that 5%, because we're asexual. So it's going to be harder for us, and we have to understand that. But there's no point in living a life where you're settling for second best or only half of what you want, because that's not going to be a fulfilling life for you. And there's tons of people out there, and it might take a long time. I know someone said in a comment, which I think YouTube seems to have deleted, that with Facebook dating, all they keep getting asked is for Snapchat. And that's what I keep getting asked for Snapchat as well. The guy yesterday, he was said to me, oh, I said to him, he's like, oh, why do you think I'd be, why do you think we'd be a good match? He goes, I don't know, but add me on Snapchat. I'm like, I haven't got Snapchat. I'm here for something meaningful and real. And he's like, oh, sorry. Because he clearly wasn't, It's like, don't waste my time. So be very careful of your time. Because, if someone's not suitable for you, you just block them on Facebook dating and get on with the next one. Because there's no point in wasting your time. Life is too precious and short. And you've got a lot of people to get through. You've basically got to treat it like a job interview, really. If they don't fit the job description, then you just like block them and get onto the next one with Facebook dating specifically, right? And this is how you have to go. It's like sifting through applications. And when someone doesn't fit at all, you just get rid of the application and you have to get the best out of the bunch. A lot of the people on Facebook dating, they don't even want to talk to you about themselves. It's very, very minimalistic conversation a lot of the time. And when you ask someone about themselves, a lot of the time they don't actually reveal information, which is no good because it means you can never have a real relationship with that type of person because they're just superficial. They're just telling you what they think you want to hear and they're passing the time with you and they're not revealing their true feelings and that because one, they might be scared of getting hurt, but two, they're more than likely not wanting an actual serious relationship with you. And because the way you have a serious relationship is by sharing your thoughts, feelings, emotions, and secrets. And if they don't want to do any of that, or don't even want to tell you about their life or what they're looking for, how their weekend is, what type of things they get up to, then you could never, you can't even really have a friendship with someone like that. It shocks me at how many people even say about, oh, let's be friends. And then they don't even speak to you ever again. And they don't even reveal anything about themselves. Sweet FA about them. You're like, what was that all about? A human being to human being friendship means communication and sharing your day and sharing your thoughts, feelings, emotions, and, sharing parts of your life and world, right? You can't have a relationship with someone who doesn't do that. And so I'm absolutely shocked when people just are so, like, hold all that stuff in. And when I ask them, like, how's your weekend or what are you getting up to this weekend? I say what I'm getting up to. They go, oh, yeah, I'm having a good weekend. You can't have a relationship with someone like that. It's like, well, what the hell does that mean? Are you going to explain, if you're doing something nice and stuff like that? So for me, talking is really important. Unless I've got a guy who's a highly effective communicator who wants to talk and actually have proper friendship communication, backwards and forwards, conversation about what their life's like, what they get up to, and, sharing parts of their life, their friends, their family, where they go, this type of thing. Unless someone does that, then for me, it's just no go. It's like, well, I can't even be your friend. Friendship requires two-way communication and sharing parts of your life with someone. If you're not even prepared to do that, it's just no good for me. Right. So again, this is a standard and boundary. I have a standard issue. You communicate and you communicate your needs, wants, likes, dislikes, and you only you communicate, parts of your life and yourself and what's going on in your life. That's this effective communication. This is opening up your world to someone else. But when you first talk to someone, if all they do is want, a few, hi, how are you? I'm fine, thanks. How are you? Hope you have a nice weekend. Okay, bye. It's just ridiculous. It's like, well, my dog, I haven't got a dog. My mum's dog could talk more than that. You know what I mean? With a few barks. You know what I mean? It's like, It's just crazy. Even a stranger passing by saying hello, like, it's just like the same sort of thing. And hello, have a nice day. Yeah, great, nice weather, It's just like that, isn't it? But if you're going to a room, say you were going to an actual date with someone and sitting down, you don't want to sit down at a restaurant or wherever you're going and the person go, hi, how are you? And I'm like, fine, thanks, how are you? I'm okay, thanks, how are you? I'm fine, I'm good, thanks. Oh, that's good, yeah, right. You know what I mean? That's not the way people speak to each other. So when you're dating, when other people are dating you, they should be treating you like you're sat in front of them a date and actually asking you questions and them telling you about their self and backwards and forwards to see if you're compatible. Because otherwise you're just wasting each other's time. So usually if that's all they've got to say, I just end up blocking them because I think if you can't hold a decent conversation, you can't ask me questions, keep the conversation going about myself and can't offer information about yourself, then you're just no go for me. I can't spend the rest of my life because I want a life partner. And I can't spend the rest of my life with someone who's just like that. I mean, it's just robotic, isn't it? No personality. So what's going on? But I really want to find an asexual guy. I find I have much more effective communication with asexuals in general. They're much more talkative, much more nicer to talk to. So yeah, I was hoping I'd find one on Facebook dating eventually, months, years later. Maybe would be nice. An Indian asexual guy would be lovely. Anyway, I can live in hope and dream. I hope you've liked this video. Do not accept any less than you deserve, and you deserve the best. Until next time, brace your inner ace. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and share it with anyone you think may benefit from it. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you on the next video live stream. Take care. Lots of love. Bye. 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 Oh, yeah.